That guy terrorized Southern Kaduna for 8 years. He terrorized Christians for 8 years. A man that I thought, and many of us believed, was friends of those of us that are Christians. Christians were killed. Christians were slaughtered. Christian communities were denied their allocation and denied development. And Christian leaders were insulted behind closed doors. And we opposed him. And we kept saying we must not fight, no violence, but pray.
There are some heavy accusations that Fani Kayode, FFK, leveled against the former governor of Kaduna State, now El-Rufai, who is now in detention. He said that El-Rufai was slaughtering Christians, like El-Rufai was killing Christians. When he was governor, that El-Rufai terrorized Southern Kaduna as well as Kaduna State for good 8 years. That El-Rufai was killing Christians, that even his VP, some people will go to meeting and they will cry out of meeting. I'm talking about State Executive Council meeting. Why? Because El-Rufai was insulting Christian leaders, insulting Christianity in Nigeria. You know, this video has been going viral, and I think it is time for us to talk about this video, because even FFK himself, who is talking about this, is also guilty of what he's talking about. I'm going to tell you how he was guilty of what he's talking about. Now, before, in case you have not seen the video, FFK was saying that El-Rufai killed Christians and terrorized Southern Kaduna. I will leave the clip for you as we go on. But let us just throw more light for you to understand what I'm saying about Fani Kayode. You know, when killings is being targeted, when terrorism is being targeted at a particular faith because of their faith, it is called a genocide. When the issue of genocide started, coming up in Nigeria after that Trump's famous statement that is going to come into Nigeria, guns are blazing, blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people were trying to say that there is no Christian genocide at all, that there is nothing like that. And, I frown at these people who are saying there is nothing like Christian genocide. Somebody like FFK, Reno Mogre, because this was their songs before they joined APC. Their songs was, there is Christian genocide in Nigeria. So FFK was writing so many epistles saying that there is no Christian genocide in Nigeria. So this is just a few months from what he wrote. He's changing his mouth, saying El-Rufai was killing Christians. What do you call that? Is it not a genocide? What he's saying, I know that it is true. It is verifiable, because I also have a clip I will leave for you. I'll be sharing this clip about a military officer who was serving in Southern Kaduna, how they were giving them order to go and kill Christians. You understand? I used to show you all these things, for you to understand the level of, terrorism that is being leveled against Christians in Nigeria. So after that, there was a meeting that was held in Kaduna. This current chief of army staff was there. They asked him a question. No, they have changed him. Yeah, they have changed him now. They asked him a question that, how are you going to solve the problem in Kaduna and in Plateau State about it? He said, even though you deploy the whole military in Nigeria to Plateau, they can't solve it because there is an underlying issue. The underlying issue there is that, they are politicians who are controlling the killings of these people, killings of Christians, and they don't want you to know this. They don't want you to know this. But, let us start from what, Fani Kayode said. From there, enter what the former chief of army staff said, that military has nothing to do with stopping killings in Nigeria because they are underlying issue. And the question is, what are the underlying issues? So stay with me.
That guy terrorized Southern Kaduna for 8 years. He terrorized Christians for 8 years. A man that I thought, and many of us believed, was friends of those of us that are Christians. Christians were killed. Christians were slaughtered. Christian communities were denied their allocation and denied development. And Christian leaders were insulted behind closed doors. And we opposed him. And we kept saying we must not fight, no violence, but pray. And God heard our prayers. How? He brought in somebody that was extremely close to him, who I know very well. That's Uba Sani. And I've known Uba, honestly, we're very, very close. But one thing I knew about Uba is that he is a fair-minded person. And when it comes to issues of faith, I can say it anywhere, anytime, any day, that he has no discriminatory tendencies at all. And one day Uba called me. He was his special advisor. He said, Femi, why are you doing that? I said, listen, Uba, you know me. When I say I'll fight to the bitter. Unless they kill me, I'll fight. He said, please, don't worry. Things will change. Don't worry. And we prayed. Eventually, Uba came in. And what happened? They started fighting. And one day I called Uba. I said, listen, why are you doing this to Nasir El-Rufai? He's out of power. You're in power now. You're being fair to Christians. You've balanced the equation. You're doing the right things. I'm very proud of you. And he looked at me and said, Femi, you have no idea the sort of things that guy had in mind for members of the Christian faith and also even for Muslims in his state. He said, you have no idea. He said, you were not there when we would have cabinet meetings And Bantex, who I believe was his deputy governor, he would insult him for his faith. Insult Bantex, insult Christians openly there. He said, Femi, you know, we have to put up with it. But all of us will leave the room. Sometimes we'll cry that how can this man be so wicked? There are so many things that he told me. But I'll just leave it at that. And why am I saying this? That a monster, and when I say monster, I mean what I say. A man that hates believers, that seeks to destroy and kill believers and wipe out our faith, was in power for 8 good years. God was just watching him. Then God brought his right-hand man to come in, set everything right, make everything fair, bring in the believers, and also teach him the lesson of his life. Is that not the power of God? Is that not a consequence of prayer? For him to say what he said, called us infidels, said that we should leave the country, and so on and so forth. All the other things he said. Well, let me tell you this. The first shocker he got was that he got more opposition from the Muslims themselves than the Christians. From morning till night, he was getting insults from his own Muslim brothers, which tells you a lot. That they realize that no way, this is unacceptable and this is wrong. And I have many, many Muslim friends. I'm very close to them. And I'll tell you what, sincerely, many of them called me and said, listen, we're really sorry about this. I said, listen, you may be sorry, you may not be sorry. He said it too. I will speak out. Because if I don't, then you call me a bastard. Because I was the only person in the APC, my party, that spoke out against gingery. And when I did so, on my Facebook post alone, I did 2 posts, generated over 6 million views in the space of 2 days, supporting what I said. And I sent the signal. You see, there's something that comes before politics, comes before anything. I'm sorry, comes before family, comes before nation, comes before politics, comes before anything. And that is God. Because it is God that gives you everything else. If you cannot stand for your faith, if you cannot stand by your people, if you cannot stand by believers when you are wronged, then you are nothing before God.
All right. You know, what Fani Kayode said, most of the points he touched here, I think is true. Up to now, do you know why Tinubu did not, even stop that man or even criticize or condemn what Jingiri said? The man that said that if you don't like Nigeria as a Muslim country, that you should leave Nigeria, that he stands for Muslim etiquette. This is because Tinubu donated 600 million to him. Anyway, that is by the way. But I said it before, it was only Fani Kayode that spoke against it among the whole members of the APC. He's the only one that spoke against it. So, for you to understand what is going on. Now, this was the statement made by the army officer saying that there are underlying issues about the killing in Nigeria. Thereafter that, I will leave you to watch.
This one, yes. El-Rufai was slaughtering Christian for 8 years. Now, so FK talk, you understand? So, he said during El-Rufai tunnel, he said called a bad Christian. You get me? This country, now different things they happen for this country. Different things. Now we hear every day. Eh? As be now, all this politician, as you know, support them. You understand? Maybe because say this one not do this one, not do this one, not do this one. No, because all of them now they be suspect. They are all suspect. You understand me?